All right, welcome to today's astrology study group, and we are going to look at several of the world actors, which I'm going to call them today, as many as I can get through, and see the aspects to them as we get, or actually for the 8th of November on election day. So we're going to start with Joe Biden, and you'll see the actors chart. That's what I'm going to call them. I think that's what they all are. It's on one level. The actors chart in the middle, and then the transits that are occurring that day on the outside. So, a couple things to note. That day we are also having a full moon lunar eclipse that day at 16 Taurus, and you can see the moon here, 16 Taurus. And a couple things we want to look at. We could probably do a lot. They'll probably trip out as we look at different people, but I want to see if I could just narrow down on a few things to get a big picture of the reflection of the world. Of it's as above, so below, or we can see things within what's happening with some of the people on in the world scene. To get an idea of certain things. So that's what we're going to look at today. So we got the full moon, and it's an eclipse. So that's also important. So we want to look at things at 16 degrees. 16 degrees Taurus is the degree, so we want to look at, anything like, again, fixed signs. We want to go fishing for, not only harsh things, but of course that's what makes for the drama. That's we want to look for the squares and oppositions. So we go look for things that are opposing or square that sign or that area, 16 Taurus. So we're going to look at things around 16 Scorpio, things around 16 Leo, and things around 16 Aquarius. All right, the other things I want to look at are moon nodes. We see the north and the south node are at 13 degrees, Taurus and Scorpio, more fixed signs. So we're going to look at if anybody has anything conjuncting those, or maybe squaring them. And then we want to look if there's anything on their natal nodes as well. N-O-D-E-S, not N-O-S-E-D with a stuffed up nose. All right, so let's look at Mr. Joe, the actor of Joe Biden, whoever this guy is. This would be the real person of Joe. So that's also another interesting thing. Some people say that there's an actor, or there's several actors that he may already be out of there or whatever. But nonetheless, we're going to see the astrology of that soul, that person. So we're seeing, this, it's close to his birthday. We see the sun, he's born on the 20th. So we got the sun at 16. It's getting closer, conjuncting. This is what's interesting. Actually, let me grab my notes. Okay. There he is. You see over on the left part of the chart, this is a very interesting phenomenon. We've got the current Mercury, Sun, and Venus all lined up with his natal Mercury, Sun, and Venus in that order. I mean, that time of year, Mercury always goes close to the sun. It will always be before the sun sign, the next sun sign or the previous one. But this is interesting that it just lined up that way for him at this age. And Venus is there too, ahead of the sun. It had just passed the sun the 23rd of November, when both Venus and the sun moved into the sign of Scorpio together. Nonetheless, that's just very interesting that they're piled up right there. And it's all like on his, and the south node is over there. The south node is on his Mars. So that kind of looks like, remember, anything, the south node over anything, or anything over the south node is kind of a deflating, or a place where energy leaves or exits the body. Things exit, you give spiritually or physically. So it over to the Mars looks very deflating. Energy is going out of the south node, transiting south node. They move backwards, so it's just about to go over his Mars, and it's in orb. So it doesn't have to always be at the exact minute that it happens, but this is definitely is moving into that. And the transiting node there is over his Mars. That's what I would say is very interesting. I would underline that, highlight it in red. That does not look like a good sign. Okay, let's see. What else? What else do I have here for him? Transiting Uranus and the moon are opposing his sun that day. No, I mean, sorry. They're approaching. They're approaching. Let's see, his square and oppose all of that. So all the way on the other side, the trans. Let me say that. Let's say that better. The transiting moon will do it first because it's moving faster, and then Uranus will go over his Mercury, Sun, and Venus. That little trio, that the little stellium he has in Scorpio there. So moon goes over that first. So that's very interesting. It opposes it. I should say go over, but it opposes it. So that's like, moon oppose your sun, moon oppose your Mercury, moon oppose your Venus. That's not like real nice. And Uranus, as it gets deeper into Taurus, will oppose all of that as well. And that's sudden things, sudden, lack of communication, sudden outage of that personality, sudden things on their values or their persona. So this does not look like it's coming into a good time for him at all. Okay. What else was there? I kind of wanted to just look at that, but just let me look around. Let's see if there's anything else that's just real obvious. In conjunct there. Well, we got, Saturn, as it moves forward, it's going to be squaring all of this as well. It's going to be, because it's in a fixed sign and it's 18 and it's getting closer to squaring his Mercury, 3 degrees away from squaring his Mercury. Then as Saturn moves on, it's going to be going a little faster. It will square his sun and then his Venus. So he's got that pile up. So we have a few things: moon over it, Saturn over it, Uranus over it. Yeah, the transiting, just because he's getting the conjunctions now, but then we're setting up for the oppositions and squares. Doesn't look real good for him. What would I say? Let's look at Kamala. Maybe I don't have to say it. What might happen, what they might do. Let's see. Let's see. Which one? I'm not going to go find her. Which one is it? I think she's later. There she is. So let's see. I'm just going to stop share and make sure you can see this, because I don't know if it switches. Let's see. All right. Should see Kamal Harris here. Now, let's look at her chart and what's going on for her. So let's see. Let's try to do it maybe in the same order. North node. Okay, so we got the North node, moon, and Uranus, and Uranus is getting, well, let's see, it's retrograde now, but it's going to, along with the moon. Okay, so the moon is going to be first, of course. The node is already gone over her Jupiter. The North node has gone over her Jupiter. That's why she is in the position she's in. North node Jupiter, bringing good, big, big things to her. Now, these are not, this doesn't matter whether we like it or not, whether we think it's fair, none of that kind of thing is there. It just, it just indicates what's gone on for that person. So the next thing we'll see is the moon going over there. So maybe secrets revealed, something comes up, or something in the emotional light, but then it's big going, as the moon progresses, that day over her Jupiter. Huh. All right, something comes to light. And then again, Uranus will be when it goes direct, it will go over her Jupiter too. So sudden fortune, sudden something big. Well, let's carry on. Let's see what else. Mars, transiting Mars is over her North Node. All right, so we had transiting North Node and her Jupiter kind of thing, and then Uranus moon over her Jupiter, which are big and sudden, and then now we've got transiting Mars on her North Node. So interesting, energizing her North Node, something coming in, power and aggression, maybe. It could be anywhere within that, given power or being aggressive. We'll just keep looking, but we get the idea of there's energy. North Node is, her North Node, anybody's, is where something comes in. So we have energy coming in. All right, now let's go on the other side and let's look what else is going on. Let's see, does she have anything at 25 other than that now? And then Mars here now at this time is retrograde. But then it's also, when it goes direct, it's in an air sign, it will be trining her natal Saturn. And she'll have just, made her Saturn return, her second Saturn return. So this is like a time where she's reaping the benefits of something in her life. And then Mars energy trining her Saturn. That's given energy to that Saturn stuff. So that, again, whether we like it or believe it or not, or something she's given, it looks like she's giving energy, into some kind of structured area, some kind of authority. There we go. Energy drive into some sort of authority time, because you see is when Mars goes direct, it's retrograde here, but then it'll go direct and it will go over her Saturn. And then transiting Saturn will go over her natal Saturn later that year or whatever, and then she's coming into her Saturn return, her second Saturn return. All right, what else? Transiting South Node. Let's see, do we have anything on that? It's going to be, well, it has just gone over her it's just gone over Freudian slip, over her Neptune. So maybe she had to sign into the delusion. She had to buy the lie. And look at Mercury going over her Neptune. So it's going to give her a voice. Wow. And then the sun is just exactly conjunct her Neptune that day. Wow, look at this, like a false presence, a false promise. Both of those right there conjuncting her Neptune. Neptune's disillusionment or illusion, fantasy. It's right there. The sun is on there, shining on it. Are you thinking what I'm thinking? Yeah, this could be already in place. I'm doing it on this day, but we're going to just see what else we got going on here, just around. Okay, let's go to another one. Let's look at, what do I have on this one? Let's look at Donald Trump. Stop share and then share. I'm just going to do this each time so I make sure that you can see these. Sorry if it's redundant. Sometimes Zoom is difficult. All right, here's Donald Trump on that time. And what do we notice with him? Let's go look at the transiting North Node. Okay, 13, and then we got 16. Does he have anything like 13 and 16? He's got Jupiter at 17, Libra. So it would be making in conjunct kind of, it's just like, it doesn't have anything to do with him. All right. Well, that could might be interesting. What else now? That stuff is getting closer to his, Uranus and North Node, that stuff. I'm sorry, Uranus, North Node, moon, but the moon is just there right now. Or, well, we're looking at that day. That's semi-sextile. It's not really making a whole lot of aspects to him on that one. All right, so let's look what else. How about transiting Mars, though, is going over his, it had just, it's retrograde, so it has just gone over his sun and his north node. So Mars north node, another one. Interesting. So that's going to, energy coming in, Mars going over north node, that's drive and energy coming in. Maybe there is something to say, from a different area from the background. And then Mars would have on the way there gone over his sun, it's retrograde. And when it goes direct, let's see, it's 24. Well, no, as it's retrograding, it will continue to go over that. Let's see, 25. I don't know how far it'll retrograde. I didn't look, but it's going to go over there. It's 25, 24. So it can hit the sun first, and it'll go over there. But it would have already, it would have already hit that, because when Mars went into Gemini just about a week or so ago, it would have starting to work its way through there. So it's already hit all of his planets there once, and it's starting on its way back, the backward hit. And again, I should have looked how far it's going to retrograde, but there's a lot to do. But anyway, it's going to energize sudden things. And Mars and Uranus could be energetic, sudden energy. It could be violence. There could be violence there too. And then Mars on the north node, so maybe something could be going on with trying to go on toward him, over that, that area on the way toward them. So then we'll have to look at Melania next to see maybe what goes on there. All right. Let's see. His north node is 20 degrees. Well, Venus here, it is going to be in conjunct his north node and, semi-sextile south node. It's kind of like, so, and that's kind of sour. There's transiting that, with relationship to his Mars. So that's not real nice. Let's see what else. Those are the big things that I see there. Anything? Oh, Neptune. Square his sun. So maybe there's another interesting kind of a, squaring there. Maybe there's another part to this play, this act, this something we're watching, because we do have the Neptune, the disillusionment affecting his son, who he is. Okay. Let's see, it's also a squaring, it's making a T-square to his south node and his moon. Now I got to look at it a little deeper. Got to kind of adjust your eyes. So transiting Neptune, squaring his sun, and squaring, and he's born on a full moon, just about. So it's squaring his sun and moon and his nodes, Neptune. So that lets me think there's more disillusionment here, maybe not in his favor. Or, I mean, a square is a square. So we got, who he is. Okay, well, let's carry on. Let's just see what we can see. But we have a Neptune, we know disillusionment, fantasy, things behind the scene. And then we've got his nodes, north and south node, Neptune squaring the nodes is kind of interesting. And we got the sun and moon involved on that one. All right, let's look at Melania. I want to look at her. All right, let's do the same. All right. This was interesting too. She's got the transiting north node, it's getting closer to go over her Saturn. So north node Saturn, this is where she can reap the benefits of of the structure of things, things come into life. She's, it's not this is a good time when North Node goes over your Saturn. Doesn't happen, what, 3 times in a lifetime, maybe. So you reap the benefits of what you've sown. You're top of your structure. If you have integrity, but that's a good sign here. This one. The moon, again, would have just gone over her Saturn. Of course, there. Uranus would have already, it's been, it's at 18 degrees now, so it's retrograding to what, 16 or 14. So it would have already gone over that, but months ago it would have gone over that, which is kind of, shows sudden, maybe around the Mar-a-Lago raid or before that, when she's sudden run up against authority or the establishment or what appears to be the establishment. All right, what else is there for her? We've got the Neptune. See, she's got a Mercury at 22 Taurus, making a sextile to the transiting 22 Neptune. So that was another degree you got to remember. So that's kind of interesting. She's got a good degree there. I mean, a good transit with that. So maybe she's not part of the disillusion. She's not part of the game or the plan or the takedown or whatever it is. I don't know how to say. I don't know. I'm just trying to find something here. Looking at degrees and just seeing what we're seeing with the symbols of astrology with several people. At the same time, she's got all of this, she's got heavy Taurus, but she's got all of this transiting sun and its entourage, at that point, kind of opposing, a lot of her Taurus energy there. So this time of year, she gets that kind of stuff. These are faster transits, but it's still an opposition is interesting. She's getting a conjunction from the moon and the North Node in Uranus, but then she's getting an opposition from the Sun, Venus, and Mercury. So maybe she's not getting the sun is not on her. The moon, she's being in background or hidden with that, but and then again, she doesn't have or maybe has an opposing voice. Or she's opposed to that, with the Mercury and the Venus there. It's not about her because that's not all that's not there. But none the fact that that's all opposing all that stuff. Interesting. All right, what else do we see? See her nodes, 9 degrees. Anything at 9? Nope, nothing. Nothing transiting is at 9. That's going to directly impact her. All right. Move on to the next. Let's see if I get it. Oh, I want to look at, Ron DeSantis. Let's look at him because he could be an interesting somebody to look at and watch as we get closer to this event. Just trying to see who's out there that may reflect some things going on. So anyway. Okay. Well, the first thing I see is that transiting, right at the top of the chart, the transiting Neptune and he's in Jupiter are right on his south node, closer to it. So Jupiter's past it, and Neptune. Let's see, that's going. See his south node. So no, yeah. So it's going to be a little bit, maybe in another year. I'm trying to think how soon that one is. Maybe the next year. Neptune will be by it. It's still a little bit away. It's 4-degree orb, and that's a big planet, but still, nonetheless, south node. So maybe he's going to be dispelling disillusions, getting rid of that type of cutting through all that as it gets closer. Because in a big way, he's done a lot already, and Jupiter has already crossed the south node. Then it's going to go through. What did it? It was in Aries. It's going to retrograde over. It's going to go back over as it then goes into Aries. So it'll go again. So Jupiter will go over his south node again. So this is his second hit. So this is interesting that they're kind of around there. All right, just to watch that. That was just on the top of the chart. Anything at 13 and 16 in his chart? His Uranus is at 13. Scorpio. Oh, making an opposition. Look at there. Is he just, he had his Uranus opposition already. Interesting. Well, this has been an interesting year for him. He's been putting, his foot down and being, just boldly going where no one has gone before, kind of. He's really been a way shower. So that's interesting that Uranian, opposition right now in his life, opposite from where it was. So the moon's going over that, activating that. And then, in his chart, he's got all this little cluster here. He's got it's kind of a kind of a conjunction, his Venus Mars, they're separate by what, 10 degrees, but they're and then two different signs, which kind of gives him an interesting appeal. He's definitely got an appeal, but he's not like, I don't know, I wouldn't consider him sexy, but he definitely has an appeal. He's got that Venus and Scorpio, which to me, the appeal is maybe one of integrity. Yeah, that's kind of what I get, a sort of more of a pull on that level. And then, if somebody's integrous, they can be more sexy because they're integrous. But he's not like an Elvis kind of a sexy, Anyway, I don't know. I'm just going off on that, just kind of looking at, when you see Venus and Mars together and you try to look at somebody and you go, well, all right. But anyway, Venus is kind of also sort of in the middle of, sort of the midpoint between these two. So his values, is he's got fire and energy with that Mars there, and then he's got that breakthrough brilliance kind of stuff, and Venus is in the middle of them, it's sandwiched in the middle of this too. So it's interesting that all of that is lighting this up, so to speak. And yeah, the nodes, the north node is also there. The south node is on his Uranus. So what would that be? Well, he's got to give up, or something, suddenly out of the blue, electric is going to change. What else can we say? South node, where things empty. Uranus, something sudden, maybe change. Okay, just keep that in mind. If we hear something around that, we'll know that we're seeing a blow up planet here by a south node for somebody. Okay, just keep that in mind. What else do we got here? Anything? Let's see. Anything's at 18 degrees? No. Saturn. No. Oh, and then Pluto. Yeah, look at, he's got a Pluto square with Mars there. Oh, well, that could add fuel to the fire with, his Mars clicking right. With Pluto, when now is it's at that 26, right on his Mars, and on his nodes too. So what would be? It would be making a sextile to the north node and a trine to the south node. So Pluto trining his north node. He could just be like, I'm cleaning up shop, man. He could come out of the blue and just make a lot of changes somehow. Okay. Pluto trining his north node. Pluto depths, north node, where you're receiving the depths of something. And then, again, right there with his Neptune, it's right, the south node is right between the Neptune. So he may be just cutting through deception and bringing just some real sudden things on. And then the square, is just going to add some stability to that. He could be a game changer in here. All right, but let's just keep these in mind when stuff starts coming on. All right, let's start looking at a nasty one here. Get a nasty one. Bill Gates. So, buying up all the land, buying up, aquifers, trying to put this Internet of Things in, and forcing the new thing from this dude, forcing municipalities to take this smart technology, or else they can't have water. And then, they're going to have to sign into all of this globalist agenda. Well, let's see what it's like for him at this time. All right, he's got a Mercury, let's see, 16. So in conjunct, all that, the 16 degree and the north node up here is kind of in conjuncting his Mars and Mercury. That's kind of interesting. All right, let's see what else. It's not exact. So he may kind of be in the background of some of this. Anything 25 at Mars? No. How about his nodes? 19, anything up here? 19. Saturn, making a trine to and a sextile to his Saturn. See, look at there. He's got some structure with this crap that he's trying to do. Okay, what else? Let's look. How about 22? He doesn't have anything at 22. Well, he's got 21, 22 here, or 2021. So and look at, he's getting a trine from the Neptune. So he might be part of this disillusionment here. That of course, of course, but I mean, it may be exposed. It may be, or it may be clicking more into place for him because he's got, natally, he's got this Venus, Saturn conjunction in Scorpio. That is just creepy. That just creeps me out. I mean, I just think of, Venus, it just feels like groping kind of energy. And now with Neptune over there, it just could be like, I don't know, just like bad sexual fantasies or just stuff in a bad way. It's bringing up, but maybe it's going to bring up a lot of his stuff, his skeletons in the closet. But a trine seems more in favor of stuff. It doesn't seem like it's a bad time for him at the moment. Let's just see what else. What else? Is there anything? What else? Yeah, nothing. All this stuff. I guess we can say, all the stuff trekking over his Venus in Saturn. Venus. He's got a Venus trine. I mean, a Venus conjunct Venus right there, and then Venus conjunct Saturn. So this is kind of odd. That always happens. That'll happen always, for him. Because he's got that stuff. It hits his Venus and then his Saturn. So we make it a yeah, which is kind of interesting. Venus leading the pack that day. So Venus, nice conjunction, but then it hits his Saturn. And then the next day, the sun is nice on his, or 4 days later, or whatever, sun's nice on his Venus, and then it hits the Saturn. And then Mercury, same thing, where the node now, the south node, by this time has gone, over those. It's already, the south node is already going over, because they go backwards. It's already gone over his Saturn and Venus. What is the nodes? Are but the 18 degrees. So, that could be stirring up stuff for him right now, or it could be clicking in. I'm seeing with the south node there going over his Saturn and then his Venus. I mean, it could be his love life. It could be, I mean, the divorce from what's it, Melinda. It could be, a lot of people are distancing himself from him. He's getting exposed. So it could be a lot of that too. His values. But then he's also, just making business move after business move right now, but stuff might start to come to light. Well, let's see, because as that gets further into that sign, it's squaring, these planets down here. They'll be squaring his Pluto and his Jupiter over here at 27-28 Leo. So let's get to the end of that sign. And then up here, as these transiting, as the moon, of course, is going to square all that. But then as Uranus gets toward the end of Taurus, it will square his Jupiter and his Pluto. So he may be starting to deflate a little bit, or coming into some trouble here with these squares coming up. All right, we'll deep dive, but he's not going to seem to be a big player on that day. Okay, did her. Oh, let's look at this guy. Let's look at Fauci. Tony, hey, Tony. All right, so he's getting to a where is it? Uranus, getting close to his Uranus return. He's gonna be like 84, right? So there you look at as Uranus clicks on a little bit more. It's retrograde here. It was at 18. It's getting like within this next year. I think he'll be at his Uranus return. Oh, but then all of this stuff is going. We got the North Node is going to go over his Jupiter because it's going backward, but it has already gone over his Saturn. So he's reaping. Let's see, North Node Saturn. He's getting some kind of structure. Moon went over there. Where's the South Node on him? South Node over his Moon. And that's what I was wondering about, because he's got like the Moon is going over his Saturn, and then the South Node's going over his Moon. So I was thinking, and Neptune or the Sun has gone over his Moon, and Venus, of course, have gone over, and Mercury gone over his Moon. So a lot of the transiting planets up here, all the planets, this stellium going over things in Scorpio would have gone over his Moon, and they're going to continue on over his Mars. So it could be intense. He's got South Node over there, at that area. But then we got this little group here as this comes around every year going over that stuff. So shining the light on his Mars and then his Venus, this group. But then at the same time, we have the Uranus conjunction, and then the transiting the North Node going. It seems like he's well, let's see what else here we got. Before I say too much. Anything on his North Node, 6 degrees. Let's see. Not that day. I think things would have happened already earlier. It's like some of these degrees would have hit earlier degrees. So I don't see it as a big day or much at this time. Well, let's see. We got his Sun. No, nope. I don't see a whole lot for him into the picture. He's probably somewhere else. Okay, let's look at this one. I think I got one or maybe one more. Do one or two more. Let's see. Look at Vladimir Putin. This looks like a real good time for him. He may be vindicated for sure. His Saturn is going over the North Node as well. I think like Melania was that way as well. I think there's, he's going to be shown right in what he's done. I think people are going to, maybe by this time, hopefully, we'll see that, he was, oh God, I don't want to get all into it, but, what we're seeing is not what's really going on. And he's not a villain. He's wanting to do good for his country. People, the more our media puts stuff out, we got to just believe the opposite of it. But Saturn going over the North Node is I think I had something here. Let's see, where was it? No, I had it, it's gone. It's just a time where you're reaping the rewards, you're vindicated, you've set up a lot of good structure, good time. You've been proven right. You're getting that authority, stepping into that authority. Interesting. And then what else did I have here? I didn't even look at my notes. It's just easier to look around at the stuff. So we were looking at, okay, traveling. So 13 degrees, this 13, 16 stuff, anything 13, 16. This stuff, he's got more cardinal. Well, we got this now. Oh, the Neptune, where's it? Neptune in conjunct. Look at the Neptune stuff is in conjunct his Pluto and his South Node. So he's like not buying into any of that stuff. It's like, he's like the fantasy. He sees through the whole disillusionment of that. He's just not a part of it. He's like, just don't see each other. And then his fortune is not of all of that yucky globalist pedophilic agenda. Mm-mm. All right, what else? What else? What else? All that Scorpio stuff. And he's got this big stellium in Libra. Look at Sun, Saturn. The Sun, Saturn is just very interesting in Libra. And then with Neptune there, he was born that generation, and then Mercury over there. So he's going to communicate values. He's going to be constantly weighing back and forth, back and forth. And then with Saturn there, it's like sorting out. It's very strict. He's probably very, very disciplined. He's probably very disciplined, very self-disciplined. He runs a tight ship. But he has vision, with Neptune there, and then with Mercury there, he can communicate that vision, and it's in it's in Libra. If this stuff were in Scorpio, it would freak me out. But with it in Libra, it's very Libran. That's the best way to put it. But then look at here, interesting. This is, I think, this Venus in Scorpio is what a lot of people see about him. And of course, I don't know what his rising sign is. When I set things at 11:59 or 12 o'clock noon, try to right in the middle of the day when I don't know that. So we don't know what that is. He could have Scorpio rising or something that would people kind of see that rather than who he really is. Who he really is this. You got to look where the sun is, and he's in that balanced area here with that very strong Saturn there. But then interesting, I think Venus, is it's more investigative, penetrating values there. All right, well, let's just see whatever anything else. 25, anything 25, and now posing a little bit. Well, his natal Mars, but we're not looking at that. All right, anything else? Let's see. 13, no. The moon nodes. It's like it's already, no, the sun past that. Nothing really. Just the Saturn one is the biggest one that I see. Maybe that kind of vindication, and that's also opposing, the Pluto. That's what I'm thinking as well. That he's just not buying or not part of that muck. Nope. All right, let me see if there's anybody else. Okay, showed you that one. I did transits. We did him. All right, I think that is all. So just the takeaway of all this, let me just put another screen share. Oops, it's the same one. I wanted to get something else for you. To get that day, if I can find it, there it is. And let's just look at it one more real quick here. All right, should be the date itself, just without any other distractions on here. So looking at that with other people, we can see some red lights, some green lights, where these energies are shining on some people and some aren't. We can kind of extrapolate from those people, the actors out on stage, what possible events might be going their way, what might be written in the stars for them to kind of reflect what's going on. Only time will tell, but we see there's some people in more favorable positions than others. So with that, let's just take that, but look at where the placements are, with other people, with yourself in your life, where some of these energies are. We have this 16 degrees. Scorpio is where the eclipse is, and that that's in those fixed signs. So look at anything else at that, or look in, to see if it's trining anything. It's a water sign, see if it's in Pisces or Cancer. So, you would be getting a trine from that eclipse energy. Look also where the nodes are at this time. We have the 13-degree nodes while the eclipse is at 16. So that may be interesting for you as well. All right, I'm going to sign off for today, and I hope you enjoyed that. And we'll look at some more people. We'll look at some more events and go from there. So happy astrology studying, and see you all next time. Bye now.